Every morning, we rise, ready to meet our human potential, to take that next incremental step, to do the hard work that changes. Set in our preparedness and confidence in that moment when you know, I've got this. And then we rise. Each of us, all of us. We rise as passions coalesce in research, art, athletics, and beyond. We rise to the challenge of inquiry and discovery through undergraduate research and hands-on learning. We rise through the personal attention of a small college, fueled by large university resources. We rise to the need for listening across differences, teaching the art and the act of conversation. We rise to the sounds of a vibrant, diverse, and culturally rich city, and we reflect it. At Trinity University, we recognize that you are here because you are ready to rise. And through a love of learning and a life of learning, we will challenge you to always reach beyond the horizon. Because your future awaits.
Welcome back for day 2 of the 2024 Leslie Robinson Holiday Classic. What is a de facto consolation game between the two teams that lost yesterday. It's the Illinois College Blueboys taking on the Southwestern University Pirates. Blueboys coming in at 6-4 with the loss yesterday against Trinity. Southwestern coming in at 0-8 with a loss against Wisconsin Lutheran yesterday. Both sides looking to get into the win column. It's been a while for Southwestern. For Illinois College, it's been a couple games as well. Your starters for Illinois College, they are keeping it all the same. Josh Harris, Javante McKenzie, Buzz Ritzel, Austin Robinson, and Seth Doss. Southwestern's made a couple of changes. They're starting with Kashawn Bell, Jared Robbins, Luke Hatcher, Shobi Anakpane, and Brock Lichtefeld. For the Tiger Network, I am Reed Rosales, joined by Annika Saenz. And as Austin Robinson awaits the Pirates to send somebody up to tip off against him, we're in for, I think, an exciting game here.
I would agree with that. They're both getting ready to get their first wins in this tournament. I think they're really eager. Second day, right before we head off into holiday break, so I think everybody's a little antsy. I'm excited. We'll see who gets this tip-off.
Illinois College wins it. We are off once again in the Leslie Robinson Holiday Classic. Ritzel trying to find someone on the inside, looking for Doss. Instead has to go to Harris. They go down the horn. Now back at center court, it's Josh Harris. Javante McKenzie works it to his right. Harris thought about a three. Instead, McKenzie thinks about it. Dishes it into Ritzel. Swish for Buzz Ritzel. He was the star for the Blueboys yesterday. 20 points against the Tigers.
And Southwestern settled down yesterday in a little zone, and I think they got they had some trouble points, especially at the high post when they were playing the Warriors. So let's see if they can adjust off of today's game as well. And of course, the Blueboys are still settling deep into their intense man.
Nearly fumbled by the Pirates, but they maintain possession. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Three is up and not in. Attempt from Luke Hatcher doesn't go. Blueboys in the white and blue. Pirates in the black and white. Robinson, one-handed lay-in is great. 4-0 for the Blueboys. Pirates wanting to match their momentum. Anakpane handing it out to Bell. They get it into Lichtefeld. Robbins makes his way outside the arc, goes down to Bell on the near side of the court. Anakpane at the top. Luke Hatcher dealing with Doss. 5 seconds on the shot clock again for the Pirates. Little rush shot there, doesn't go. And once again, the Blueboys defense making an impact, but an immediate turnover as Lichtefeld finds the ball in his hands. Robbins, Anakpane, settling things down for Southwestern. Hands it to Lichtefeld at the top of the arc. Go back to Anakpane. Hand off to Hatcher. Hatcher trying to drive in, trying to bump off Doss. One-handed lay is great. With a lot of contact to boot, muscling his way in.
I mean, he did well. He kept his shoulders square to the basket. I was actually going to make a comment about Jared Robbins, who I thought had a pretty good breakout game yesterday, 1 or 2 threes, and had some good mid-range jumpers, great footwork. So eager to see what he's going to do here. I know he just came off of a nice little curl around the wing area, but I'm excited to see what he'll do today.
Bell stepped out of bounds, so turnover. Blueboys would get another opportunity to score. It's one thing that the Blueboys were really good at yesterday was getting those boards. Crashed very well.
Yeah, we looked at the stat line yesterday at halftime versus Trinity, and they were really leading on second chance points, which definitely came off of offensive rebounds. So they're very tenacious on the offensive boards.
The lay-in doesn't go for Robinson. It's a one-possession game early on. About 3 minutes into it here in Calgar Gym. Lichtefeld trying to find a man. Can't get it to Robin, so he goes to Bell. Bell going up to Anakpane. They work it around the horn. Hatcher, kind of an awkward moment, but Pirates will keep the ball. Smart thinking from the freshman, hitting it off of one of the Blueboys.
7 seconds left on that shot clock. I don't know if they're going to run a set play that they have off that sideline. Looks like they're setting up in a box formation, maybe coming down with some screens. There we go.
Fine, Anakpane. They go down the horn. Hatcher goes to Lichtenfeld. Denied, but it's going to stay Southwestern ball. And I think the bench of the Blue Boys wants the ball. Either way, not a lot of time for Southwestern to work with. Quite literally 1 second. And shot clock violation. Inbounds pass was not too well conceived there.
No, and that's the first 30-second call that we had this game. I know that the Pirates actually had a couple of those going against them and for them yesterday when they were playing the Warriors.
Doss inside. Goes out to Harris. 3 up. Big bounce off the iron. Taken in by Shobi Anakpane. Sean Bell, deep 3. Nothing doing for the Pirates early on. So we're almost 4 minutes in. Scoring droughts already for both sides. Illinois College, they're used to this. Their brand is old school, gritty defensive basketball. Doss shot from within the arc, too strong. Robinson falls over, trying to get the board, loses the ball.
I think they're going to call that foul on Austin Robinson. I feel like the Blue Boys are doing the same thing offensively as we saw the Warriors do last night. They were pretty much working directly off that high post, and anytime somebody would leak out to the short corner, that was the second option. So I don't know if Southwestern is going to want to keep exposing that area or if they're going to want to transition maybe into a different form of zone. I think they're settling in a 3-2 like right now. So, I mean, we'll see. I know that Lichtenfeld is kind of just staying in the middle as a center, being an all-time goaltending. So we'll see.
Aiden Lewis, one of the new players in for Southwestern, along with Gio Gutierrez. Big heave in to Lichtenfeld. They find Gutierrez at the near corner. He goes in and finishes it off. 4-4. Better start for the Pirates than yesterday. They were down by quite a bit to start off against the Warriors. Tie game here. Now rushing in. Lennart's attempt doesn't finish. Tried to slap it out of Lichtenfeld's hands, but the grip too strong from the big man. Gio Gutierrez trying to get to Lewis, slips through him, has to recover. Robbins puts the way down to Bell. Now Lewis on the near side corner. Going back in to Lichtenfeld. Some nice passing. Lichtenfeld draws contact.
Great put up by Lichtenfeld. I know that I actually saw Gutierrez out in that corner, maybe working on that inside out game a little bit instead of just waiting for the defense to collapse completely. But it's a good thing overall. Lichtenfeld's going to the line, see if he can put some up.
Right now, both sides, I think, wanting to shoot a bit better than they are right now, especially from range. Only 2 3-pointers attempted for either side. Of course, none of them have gone in.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very different game than we look at Trinity basketball. Trinity is a 3-point shooting team in and out. You look at men's and women's teams. Yesterday was just a 3-point amazingness coming from both Jacob Millhouse and Jacob Harvey. So we'll see if that story continues here. I know that Jared Robbins is very capable of shooting the 3. From what I remember yesterday as well, Gio Gutierrez. So we're going to see. Ritzel, too.
Yeah, Buzz Ritzel, their main guy for Illinois College. I'm really looking forward to that Seth Doss versus Brock Lichtenfeld matchup. 2 big guys, very good at their position. Doss was an absolute pest for the Tigers yesterday. I mean, he was everywhere.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Face.
Well, he just has a knack for getting the ball defensively, offensively, rebounding. I mean, that was just his go-to yesterday. I think Lichtenfeld is great at using his body for positioning, getting somebody on the block, and especially putting them on his high hip and asking for it on the other side with his offhand. But I'm happy to see him go to the line. Maybe you'll see some go through the net and get him going.
14:57 left in the first half. It's 4-4. It's low scoring, but it's what the Blue Boys are used to. First free throw, took a big bounce, did not fall in for Lichtenfeld.
I felt like that was the story all of yesterday. Every team I felt was shooting less than 75%.
A lot of bounces, but it does go in for Lichtenfeld. Pirates take the lead.
And Lichtenfeld gets subs out for Patrick Hoffman, Jr. out of Burleson, Texas. I need to Google where that is. Texas is so big, you have no idea. To anybody listening that's not in Texas, this is like 7 states.
The ball has been loose for a chunk of that possession, but the Pirates maintain it. So they could potentially extend their lead a little bit more. Hoffman going up to Murr, inside to Lewis. Lewis trying to take it himself. Doesn't finish, but gets his own miss. Tries it again, gets blocked. Just a smattering of Blue Boys in the paint to meet him. Harris, swarmed by Pirates. In the corner, Leonard works his way in. Too tough of a challenge. They go back outside the arc. Bobakowitz inside to Harris. One arm shot is good.
Great recognition by Harris, noticing he couldn't get all the way to the rim, so he gave a little teardrop. Notice his defender was a couple feet off of him.
A little lefty action coming in. Bobakowitz yesterday played in his first game this season and lit up the scoreboard. He's certainly a player to watch out for the Blue Boys. Murr's shot just much too short. Harris and the Blue Boys going to Bobakowitz. Back down to Harris, center of the court. Now in the paint, Doss muscling through 3 Pirates, but the Buccos come away with it. Lewis streaking down the court. Can't finish, but contact is drawn.
That'll be on Josh Harris. Pretty sure that's his first one, if I'm not mistaken.
Another problem for the Blue Boys yesterday was a lot of fouls given to them.
Who fouled out? I think it was 2 or 3 players, was it not?
Robinson fouled out.
Yes.
Remember that. And another one of their starters fouled out. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Doss. I'm pretty sure Doss
I think it was as well.
out.
I think it was.
Shobi and Nakpane back in for Southwestern.
Yesterday was a game of fouls. I remember they went into singular bonus at like around the 12-minute mark, and then double bonus didn't come short after that in both halves for the Blue Boys versus our Tigers.
Lewis ties things up. It goes 1 for 2 from the charity stripe. Leonard spinning around. Gutierrez. They tried to get it to Doss, but it's going to be Pirate ball. Doss not very convinced with the call. Thought it might have gone off a Pirate before going out of bounds. Southwestern ball either way. Nakpane and the Pirates go up the horn. Now back down a little bit. Lewis 3. Drained by the freshman. 9-6. Southwestern leads. Coach Kirkendall and the Pirates looking for their first win. It'd be quite a win against a very good Illinois College team. But an open 3 for Leonard. Doesn't go. Doss saves it. The big man making some fast moves. Bobakowitz drained it again. 9-9 for Bobakowitz.
Had a little deja vu from yesterday. That was him. I think he had 3 threes yesterday, and they were all in very opportune times.
Yeah, Bobakowitz had not played a game up until that point. He comes out of nowhere and just starts shooting very well. Trying to get in. Thrown up by Gutierrez. Whistle's blown. Out of contact on the floor.
They were calling it on the floor, yeah. Didn't feel like he was going up for the shooting motion.
Now some substitutions as Marcus Coleman comes in for Illinois College. Luke Hatcher and Brock Lichtenfeld back on the court for Southwestern. They get it into Lichtenfeld. They go out to Hatcher. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Motion from Nakpane. He goes down to the near side. Lichtenfeld working his way down. Hands it off to Nakpane at the top of the key. Trying to find the lane in the paint. Shot from the free throw line. It doesn't go. pretty contested, tough shot. It's 9-9. Buzz Ritzel. It's off to Harris. They go to Coleman. Back down to Harris. To Coleman again. Find Doss on the far side corner to Ritzel. Too short, but a board for the Blue Boys. Bobikwitz, his three doesn't go.
Felt like one of those threes. A little bit of a heat check. He felt it from yesterday. Felt this one go in today. And looking at the Blue Boys offense, they're really going to have it all day, especially if Southwestern stays in that zone. Just an exposed area, a little bit beneath the high post area. So they just got to capitalize, use the backboard. You know, floaters, especially as a player, you know, it's an art. And they are very difficult shots to make.
Jump ball. So it's Southwestern ball. We change the possession arrow. Timeout on the floor. Both sides tied 9-9. We're almost halfway through this first half. Low scoring, it's chippy. It's kind of what we expected from both sides. Even though they both lost yesterday, they kept their opponents under their scoring average for the season.
That is correct.
Southwestern going up against Wisconsin Lutheran. Tough team to go up against, but they handled themselves pretty well, all things considering, even after going down by quite a bit to start things off. They came back and they kept it close for a little while. Of course, Wisconsin Lutheran ended up pulling away.
I think a lot of that had to do with Wisconsin Lutheran's just intensity on offense and defense. I know that they picked up pretty high, continue to have extended pressure or ball pressure pretty high. I know Gutierrez was one of those people for Southwestern who had to deal with that coming down the court as one of their point guards or main ball handlers. So it takes a lot of energy, especially when you are having to exert yourself so fully on offense and defense. But I'm excited to see what the Warriors are going to do competing against the Trinity intense full court press as well. So it's one of those things where you're looking right in the mirror, because intensity on defense definitely leads to intensity on offense and enthusiasm on offense.
You saw on your screen that the Blue Boys are leading in rebounds, but they have 5 turnovers. And the Pirates have converted that into 8 points of their own. So nearly every point that the Pirates have is thanks to a Blue Boy turnover.
And that's good. You want to see. I know that there are some drills, especially in practice, where you have to have a stop and you have to score. And that's what makes a lot of these possessions stretch out more. And that's when you see players and teams really extend their leads, because you have to have a stop and you have to convert on those as well.
Robinson inside the arc, getting it to Ritzel at the elbow. Ritzel finds McKenzie, the three. Too weak. Oh, Robinson had the ball, but it slipped out of his hand. Second chance opportunity that won't come to fruition for Illinois College. Gutierrez and Southwestern. Hand it off to Robbins. Robbins having to deal with the Ritzel in his face. Nakpane, far side of the court, just his way down before handing it off to Hatcher. Swings it in for Lichtenfeld. Some nice passing, and Nakpane finishes it off. Southwestern lead once again, 11-9.
Good backdoor slash by Nakpane, realizing that his defender's head was turned. And I don't recall who gave that assist, but noticing a lot of those things gave him that wide open layup.
Coleman, what a nice dish to Ritzel, but unfortunately the shot off the back of the rim. Pirates running it up. Gutierrez takes it himself. Too weak of a shot. Like it's been kind of a common thing throughout this game. Need to put a bit more oomph into it. Ritzel in the paint, loses the ball. Who's gonna have it? They're calling it for Southwestern.
Ritzel looks a little frustrated right now. I know that he's had a couple opportunities in the mid-range area, a little floater area, and they haven't been going in for him. But if he can turn this around, I feel like this game would just look a lot different.
Ritzel joined the 1,000-point club yesterday against the Tigers. Scored 20 points, and one of the team's best performers yesterday.
He just got to the rim a lot yesterday, but I think that's partially due to the Tigers playing a really intense offense and a man defense, excuse me. So he had those opportunities to slash and get to the rim rather than just working around a zone, which the Pirates are doing really well at right now.
Lichtenfeld got the pass, but lost control of the ball. Turnover by the Pirates. Ritzel gets it to Robinson. Robinson tried to pass it to somebody, but ended up in Anakpane's hands. They have numbers, and they can finish. The pass from Anakpane to Bell works like a charm. Now a 4-point lead for the Pirates.
That was a textbook 2-on-1 play. And Akbane let that defender come to him, who was actually probably awaiting a little charge, and then just gave a little shuffle pass to his teammate.
Ritzel trying to get his Blueboys some points. Hands it to Harris. Oh, just in and out for Josh Harris. Unfortunate for the Blueboys. Now Southwestern. Opportunity to sail further into the lead. Thrown up for Lichtenfeld. He snags it out of the air. Working against Doss. Reverse layup is good.
Those are two players around Lichtenfeld, and he just got around both of them and finished on the opposite side of that rim. Used it as his protection, and he's so long that, I mean, it was just a little tip off that glass. I think the Blueboys really need to take some time, especially in that mid-range area, squaring their shoulders up. They're good shots, and they're really available and pretty open, just making sure your shoulders are square, going up and down instead of fading away when it's not necessary.
15-9. Southwestern, a good lead. Still low scoring, as per usual for both sides. You can see the highlights on your screen. Still, Pirates with a 6-0 run over the last 2 minutes. Blueboys have just, they need to find their stride from the floor. 0 for their last 5, 1 for their last 7, 5 turnovers in 6 minutes. They haven't scored any points in the past 4 minutes.
Yeah, and that's getting to the basket too. It could be one possession where you just see the ball go through the net. It can completely 180 the way that you're feeling and how your team's feeling offensively. I just wish, and I hope for the Blueboys right now, that just because their offense isn't going really well, that it doesn't affect their defense too much, because they are such a good defensive team. And it showed yesterday when they were playing the Tigers. So maybe they'll turn it around after they come out of this timeout.
So you can see 8 turnovers for the Blueboys, 4 for the Pirates. That, even though they're winning in rebounds, turn it over more than double your opponent. Put yourself in a tough situation.
And a lot of it's uncontested turnovers. Like, there was a couple down here. I know Austin Robinson, he just kind of threw it into one of his opponent's hands without directly looking at where his teammate was. So some of those things, I mean, just take care of the ball. It really is just, it's one of the fundamentals of basketball, but taking care of it, it means a lot, especially when you are, when you're trying to run this clock, or, you know, trying to make sure that every possession is the way you need it.
A press from the Pirates, but they call it back after the inbounds from the Blueboys is good. Buzz Ritzel having to deal with the Nakpane, 14 against 14. And then Coleman. Coleman thought about the shot. Little pump fake. Back to Coleman. Gets it into Doss. Doss in the paint. Trying to spin it around. Goes out to Harris. The 3 doesn't go.
It's going to be on the floor.
And slow to get up.
I think that was on Lichtenfeld.
Ritzel is slow to get up right now. His teammates help him to his feet. Maybe got the breath knocked out of him.
Yeah, it looked like a hard fall.
He is limping a little bit.
I don't know if that's a knee or an ankle.
Ritzel is going to come off the floor. In for Ritzel will be Matt Thompson, senior out of Missouri.
Coach Schweer helping him off the court.
That is an unfortunate moment for Illinois College. Never want to see a player go down like that, especially a team's star player. Ritzel has been for the entirety of the year, but some nice passing. They get it to Doss. Contact drawn.
Good opportunity for Doss. Let him go to the line, see if he can get a couple going in. Stuff like that makes a difference. And it was a really good slash by him to get past. I want to say that was a pass from Marcus Coleman to find him coming to the basket.
First free throw, no good for Doss. That scoring drought is still in effect. And it will remain in effect as Doss goes 0 for 2. So it's nearly 7 minutes, 30 seconds in this first half. It is 15-9. Lichtenfeld having to contend with Doss. Can't get it over him. Has to hand it off to Anakpane. Joby Anakpane trying to work it against Thompson. Well, good pass to Robbins in the paint, bumping up against Harris. He finishes it. 17-9.
That's a footwork that I was talking about earlier. I mean, he had that in the game yesterday against the Warriors. And, I mean, he obviously showed it. He has good footwork in the paint. And he muscled his way through. I want to say he's 6'6", freshman. I'm sure he has room to grow, but he has good body control, and he can finish well around the rim.
Jalen Swinney in for Illinois College, the transfer from Fontbonne. We'll see what impact he has in the game. Number 35, 6'7". Some talk between the officials. We'll see what that results in as one of the officials talked to updating the shot clock for 22 seconds. Harris gets the inbounds pass, goes to Coleman. Coleman back up to Harris, back down to Coleman. They find Swinney in the paint. They found an open Thompson in the corner, didn't take the shot. Swinney's short shot is no good. Up to Sean Bell, up to Anakpane, then to number 25, that's Mills. Pirates moving the ball around very well. Mills having to contend with Bobikwitz. Oh, ball is loose. Who can get it? And what are they going to call? Pirate ball. I think Harris wanted it for the Blue Boys.
It was a great hustle by Harris.
You can see the speed difference between Harris and Lichtenfeld there.
I honestly don't even think that Lichtenfeld saw Harris coming off of his right shoulder. But nonetheless, it remains in the Pirates' hands.
Should be a Anakpane, just pull-up shot from the elbow.
Anakpane can just rise up. I mean, we saw it a little earlier, earlier in this half. He can just rise up against any one of his defenders. He's very athletic, and that little 1-2 pull-up really did well for him.
Swinney hits it out to Ritzel, who's back in the game. Doesn't matter what condition he's in, Ritzel is always money.
He gave a little head shrug. He was like, finally.
Anakpane and the Pirates trying to respond. Mills pass out to Anakpane. Lewis with the three. Too strong, goes off the backboard. Now the Blue Boys having some pep in their step. A lot of moves from Harris. Ultimately, no points coming out of it, but it was acrobatic.
It was very acrobatic.
Bell, finds an open lane, gets it to Lewis in the corner. Nothing going for Lewis right now. Trying to get the freshman going. Whistle blown.
Foul by Luke Mills as Jalen Swinney had collected the ball.
We'll see. Thought it might be timeout on the court. It is not. Did a little psych out there. We can welcome back Patrick Hoffman and Luke Hatcher for the Pirates back in the game. Get it to Lennart at the top of the court. Now back down to Ritzel. Ritzel to Lennart. Lennart back to Ritzel. Trying to find someone inside. Some good passing. Bobikwitz. The three is good. Nothing but net for Bobikwitz.
Same left wing that he made his first one from. So he's 2 for 3 from the same area. Let's see if they'll adjust off of it. I know that they're trying to do a little puncture pass type of thing going. So they're hitting the high post, waiting for defense to collapse off of the wing, and then hitting anybody that's outside. And they've obviously taken advantage of it. And let's see if they'll continue to take advantage of it with the last 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in this half.
Bell handing it to Lewis. Lewis lost the ball.
It's going to be a foul on Bobikwitz. Fighting over screens can kind of go 50-50, especially when you're one of the defenders. But it seemed like he was a little bit overzealous.
Bobikwitz, 6'5" sophomore out of Lake St. Louis, Missouri. And Southwestern works quick, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Hoffman gets it to Lewis. He decides to drive in. Oh, can't finish, but the contact is drawn. Robinson hopping around in frustration a little bit.
That foul is going to be on Austin Robinson, and I think that may have been his second.
Foul number 20, Austin Robinson is second. Team
Yeah.
foul number 6. The line for 2 shots, Aiden Lewis.
So Lewis with 2 free throws. Illinois College on a 6-0 run right now. That might continue.
What is with these rims? I feel like I haven't seen a free throw go in from yesterday and today.
At both sides, for every team, I'm not sure any team's going to say that they were proud of their free throws in this tournament, especially not now, 0 for 2.
Maybe we're just putting bad juju in the air. Maybe this is us. We're the issue.
Leonard trying to take it without issue, but can't finish it off. It's kept alive by Doss, but in the Pirates' hands. Bell to Gutierrez. Got it stuck in the rim.
That's going to be a jump.
Jump ball, white ball.
Don't see that one every day.
No, we don't.
Came in with such velocity that he shoved the ball.
Yeah, he did. One of the more odd scenarios where it's a jump ball on the rim is when it gets caught in that little back box behind the rim. I've only ever seen it happen once in a game, and it was because it was a super dead ball and it just stayed right there. But it's one of those instances you don't see very often.
Doss, he worked up well against Hoffman.
Great footwork, had his defender on his back, and then finished over that left shoulder.
Pirates at risk of losing their lead completely. See what Keyshawn Bell does. Hands it off to Gutierrez. Back down to Bell. Bell having to deal with Thompson. To the right to Robbins, but the swing pass to Hoffman doesn't get there.
It was also one of those entry passes where we talked about this a little bit yesterday. There was secondary defense just waiting for him on the backside. So even if it went through, I don't know how much of a play that would have been if it continued.
19-17 as we get another media timeout. Coach Kirkendall trying to prevent the Pirates from losing the lead that they've had. You can see shooting percentages still pretty low for both sides. But defensive game, just kind of going to happen when it is 2 defensive teams going against each other.
Yeah.
And for Southwestern, no points in the last 3 minutes. Illinois College has taken advantage for an 8-0 run. Southwestern's got to figure something out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we can see the turnovers have remained pretty much the same for the Blueboys, and the Pirates have accrued 3 more since the last time we checked. So it may even out as we enter the second half. Rebounds, obviously, are still being controlled by the Blueboys, and now they're looking at the 3-point game. I know Ritzel just scored one and Bobowitz just got his second, so the 3-point percentage is, although low for them, it may continue to climb. But, I mean, we'll see. They may capitalize on all the shots that they've been getting in the paint. I know we just saw, who was that? Seth Doss just go over his left shoulder and get a little easy 2 inside the paint. So, I mean, there's a lot of time left in this first half, and we'll see if they can capitalize on all those little mid-range shots that they had missed earlier on.
Be Thompson to inbound it. Trying to find somebody. Gets it to Doss, who had nobody on him. But Bell pressing up against Ritzel. Blueboys having to exert a little bit more effort and just punched away. Oof, tough fall for Leonard. Pirates haven't finished it yet. Robbins gets it back out to Bell. Hoffman and out to Bell. Pirates reset the playing field a little bit. Leonard back in it. Hoffman near the top of the key. Good pass in to Luke Hatcher. Hatcher back out to Robbins. 3 up. Just off the iron.
It stays with the Pirates after a fight between Bobowitz and Patrick Hoffman, who's just getting subbed out for Brock Lichtenfeld.
Javonte McKenzie and Josh Harris back on the court for the Blueboys. Trying to finish off this first half strong. They find Hatcher on a design play. Doesn't go in, but it's going to be some free throws for him.
Good cut by Luke Hatcher. Saw his defender, looked away for a quick second and then got him. So we'll see if he can finish these free throws.
So 2 good free throws for the Pirates thus far in this game. Had 6 attempts. Hatcher makes their 3rd. Scoring drought is quenched. Next free throw.
Got a little excited.
No
Jared
shot.
Robbins, the freshman. It's one of those freshman moves. You're like, dang it.
It'll cost the Pirates a point. The Blueboys having to work hard. They find Doss. Doss versus Lichtenfeld. Goes back out to McKenzie. Harris at the top of the arc. Inside to Doss. Doss working in, loses the ball. Robbins keeps it alive into the hands of Gutierrez. And now the Pirates move quick to Lichtenfeld. We'll see if he takes it himself. He attempts to, but the ball is lost into Bobakwitz's hands.
That was a great block by Seth Doss as he came from that turnover that he just had. That's what you call short-term memory.
Bobakwitz's 3. Oh, rattles in and out. Fortunate for Bobakwitz, but it looked like a good shot. Oh, what a pickpocket by Ritzel against Bell. Harris, near side lane pierced. A 2-strong shot. Offensive board for the Blueboys. Ritzel makes it a 1-point game again.
I feel like Ritzel's slowly starting to turn it up. He's knowing that his teammates really need him right now. So he had a great defensive possession, pickpocketed, and then he just finished off that last play.
That was a Ritzel-made play right there, like from the beginning.
And that looked like a lot about what we saw yesterday, especially in that second half. I know that there was a possession where he really just blazed down the middle of the lane with a lot of defenders around him and finished well. So we need to see a lot more of that coming into, well, finishing off this first half and then coming into that second half, especially if they want to get a lead and then maintain it.
It's 20-19. Pirates had a better lead earlier on, but now it is only 1 point. 2 minutes left here in the first half, just about. See Trinity Tigers in the top right of us. You might barely be able to see some of their legs on your screen, but they're watching this game. Of course, they have to play Southwestern in conference. They're both out of the SCAC. Lichtenfeld gets it out to Gutierrez. Shoots a 3, but too weak. Good board by Robbins, and he gets the second chance points.
Great offensive rebound by Robbins, and then recognizing that the best decision for him to do was just go up from there.
Coleman found Swinney. Swinney, acrobatic, ooh, tough fall, but he gets up, shakes it off. It's 22-19. Minute 13 and counting. Go up to Bell. Tried to find Gutierrez, couldn't. To Lichtenfeld, down to Robbins. Robbins just shoots a 3. The freshman thinks he's on top of the world right now. 25-19. Just shot it right in front of Bobakwitz.
Man down, hand down. He recognized it. And I mean, him and Bobakwitz are pretty well even. I know that Bobakwitz is 6'5". Robbins is 6'6", and he just felt like he could rise up, and he shot it with confidence.
Javonte McKenzie. Nothing happening there. Whistle blown.
And that's going to be on Robbins. Is that going to be his first or second?
For Robbins, that is number 2. 39.9 seconds.
And he gets out, and he's subbed in for Aiden Lewis.
Lewis for sure out of Pensacola, Florida. McKenzie finds himself open for a 3. Can't not leave him open. 25-22. We'll see. There's still a shot clock, so the Blueboys are, in theory, guaranteed another possession. Bell being harassed by Ritzel right now. Trying to get it out. He does to Lewis. Now Lewis having to work against Coleman. Hatcher, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Pirates have to do something. Hatcher takes it to Lichtenfeld. Punched out, but it'll stay Pirate ball. 1 second on the shot clock. Last time the Pirates were in this position, that did not go so well for them. We'll see if they do something a bit better this time. They find Lichtenfeld, reverse lay. Looks like they will count it. Put up, too weak.
Basket by
27-22.
Great move by Lichtenfeld, coming off of the reverse layup.
halftime. It is Southwestern 27, Illinois College
27-22, Southwestern leading.
leading scorers in the
They
game.
end the half 3 for 3 from the floor in that last part of the game.
And for Southwestern,
And Robbins is a big part of that. I mean, he had a great offensive rebound, and then he had a rise-up shot, and then, of course, Lichtenfeld with his really long arms finished on the opposite side of the rim with 1 second left on that shot clock. Great time recognition.
Right now, it's Buzz Ritzel for Illinois College, leading in points with 7 and rebounds with 4. Josh Harris, 1 assist. Not going to be a lot of assists in a low-scoring affair like this.
No.
For Southwestern, it's Robbins. Who else? 7 points. Brock Lichtenfeld, 7 rebounds. You can see the rebound game now tied up, 17-17.
Yeah.
I think that's what the Blue Boys want to see.
Yeah. And then, of course, the turnovers are slightly evening out, but the Blue Boys are still up by 3 in turnovers, which is something they do not want to have right now. And then one of the most stark statistics that you see on your screen is 0 to 42% for free throw percentage. And I don't know if that, I honestly think that that just translates into them not being as aggressive when they're going to the rim. I know that they're getting there, but I don't know if they're looking for the foul when they're getting up to the rim. I know a lot of them are pretty athletic, just making sure that they're going up to make the shot and not to get fouled or not to, you know, find any other reason not to concentrate on making the basket.
Yeah, Illinois College just, they were only, I think only one player had a trip to the free throw line in that entire half.
And that was Seth Doss, if I recall. I think he went 0 for 2.
Meanwhile, Southwestern got 7 attempts. It's not much more, but they got 3 points out of it. Not a lot of fouls overall, though.
Yeah.
You had 7 for Illinois College, 3 for the Pirates.
Yeah, which is a very different game from what we saw last night in that second game, Trinity versus the Blue Boys. It really felt like it was just a game of fouls. We hit bonus and then double bonus pretty early on within the halves. So it is a very stark difference from what we're seeing in this game.
Well, we'll see what head coach for the Blue Boys, Steve Schweer, and head coach for the Pirates, Connor Kirkendall, draw up in the locker rooms.
halftime score at Southwestern 25, Illinois College 20.
They're
And we are
reviewing that
seeing
one.
right now that they are actually going to take the shot, this shot off, the last shot from the Pirates, this reverse lay from Lichtenfeld. As you can see, 0 seconds,
Ball still in his hand.
ball still in his hand.
I think what is the official, like it has to be a toss-up. I know he took a dribble and then he did that. Is it, it's supposed to be like 0.7 if it's just a touch, and then it's like 1 point something if there's a dribble, or there's some cool basketball statistics if you look at it. I know that like a touch shot, I think it's 0.7 or it's like 0.4 if you're looking at the time.
So 25-22 is actually your halftime score. And we'll get you another look of those when we come back for the second half. But until then, take a 12-minute break. We'll be back sometime before that timer ends. Please stay tuned on the Tiger Network. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Tiger Network. You've been seeing the highlights of the first half between the Illinois College Blueboys and the Southwestern Pirates. It's been a very defensive, chippy game. I mean, we've kind of expected it. 25-22. I mean, never looked like it was going to be a high-scoring game on paper or in practice. Maybe a bit lower scoring than I had originally thought it would be.
Yeah, it's a little low. But it's not based off opportunity. There's been opportunity to definitely score, especially for the Blueboys in the mid-range area, especially a little lower than the high post. So we'll see if they can start making a lot more of those coming into the second half. I know that Ritzel and Bobowitz kind of lit up a little later into that first half, and Southwestern just been taking a lot of advantages, especially off their, offensive rebounds and going up for second chance points.
And we are underway in the second half. Those last 2 points, a bit of fool's gold for the Pirates. It's 25-22. As Lichtenfeld took too long on the power dribble reverse lay. Nakpane goes back out to Hatcher. Hatcher to Nakpane. Robbins works his way to his right before handing it off to Hatcher. 10 seconds on the shot clock. And Nakpane driving to his left in the paint. Thought about a shot, instead hits it out to Hatcher. Deep three, sunk by Luke Hatcher. Batten down the hatches because Luke is getting a three, 28-22.
That's following right off of Jared Robbins' last three coming in that second half, who just rose right over Bobowitz. So it's a good look for Luke Hatcher as he starts his second half.
Blueboys charge down, and Javante McKenzie responds quickly. 4-point game. Anakpane to Lichtenfeld. Lichtenfeld waiting for an open man. Back to Anakpane. Works to his right, now to his left. Pass it to his left. Now in for Lichtenfeld. Spin around, work against Robinson. 2 points for Lichtenfeld.
It felt like it just crawled into the rim. I know it was a little low off that glass, but great finish for him.
Southwestern, a team that's not afraid to get physical. Ritzel, deep three. Doesn't go. Every time he shoots, I kind of always have the thought in my mind that, man, that looks like it's going in.
This is me. Do you remember a couple years ago, there was one of our players named Enzo, and he kind of looks like him a little bit. That's maybe style of play.
Yeah, a little bit. now that
do you see it now?
I kind of see it now. I do.
I know Enzo was a strong lefty, but maybe it's a facial structure.
Robinson goes through Lichtenfeld.
Good body by Austin Robinson, and he maintained himself and finished well.
Good physicality between these two sides. Oh, through the hands of Robinson, he was able to corral it. Put it up for Hatcher. No shot.
On the floor.
On the floor, indeed. 30-26.
We were complaining about a low-scoring game. I feel like within these last field goal attempts, they've made like 60 on both ends. Like 60% on both ends, excuse me.
Bell will be the one to do the inbounds pass. He gets it to Lichtenfeld. Back to Bell in the far corner. Now they work down. Long pass to Hatcher. Three up, but no good on that three. Javante McKenzie and the Blueboys. Down by 4, trying to cut into that deficit. Nice pass to Ritzel, and he somehow maintains control of it. Gets it to Bobowitz. Hand on the ball. Contact drawn. Groans from the Pirates, cheers from the Blueboys as Bobowitz is going to shoot some free throws.
For a second there, I was like, oh, this man's about to slam it down. But inevitably got fouled. So let's see what's going to happen. This is their only their only trip to the line since the first half. That's their second trip. And still with the same outcome. They're 0-3 right now.
Bobowitz trying to make the first free throw for the Blueboys today. The sophomore able to bounce it in. 27-30. Pirates not exactly comfortably in the lead. Lewis down to Anakpane. They work it down to Bell. Bell having to deal with Bobowitz. Tries to get a screen.
It's going to be a foul on Bobowitz, no doubt. Ball remains with the Pirates. I'm assuming they're taking it out. Oh, they'll take it out at the baseline.
You can see Hatcher got the screen, and Bobowitz is built like a big guy.
Yeah, he's 6'5", and he gets subbed out for Seth Doss, and Ty Lenhard also comes in for Josh Harris.
Nakpane to his right to Lewis. Hands it off to Hatcher at the top of the arc. Trying to direct traffic.
Feels like he was about to pull up. I felt like he was going to pull up there for a quick second.
Lichtenfeld got pickpocketed by McKenzie. Now the ball is loose. Who's going to get it? Diving for it is Nakpane. He keeps it alive. But instead, Ritzel tried to slam it. But the whistle was blown much before that. So it went out. Blueboys ball. But a mad scramble.
Shout out to the Trinity helpers today for sweeping the floors.
Lennart into Robinson. Much too sharp of an angle, but contact drawn.
And Lichtenfeld taps his chest like, that's on me, that's on me.
They give the foul to Lewis.
And they're already exceeding how many times they went to the free throw line that first half. It's looking good. You want to see the ball go through the net. It garners a sense of enthusiasm every time you go on offense, and it really does change your mind as a shooter, as anybody that's going for an offensive shot.
Clean free throw from Robinson. 30-28 could make it a 1-point game. But it'll stay a 2-point game. 1 for 2 from the line. Both sides still looking for their first perfect trip to the charity stripe. Joby Anakpane finds Lichtenfeld. Goes to Hatcher. Back out to Lewis. Pass it in to Lichtenfeld before he gave it to Bell. Bell spinning around. Not a lot of time on the shot clock. About 5 seconds now. Lewis trying to take it himself. Reverse layup. Doesn't fall. Kept alive into the hands of Hatcher. Against Robinson. Doesn't go. It's contested. And McKenzie rips it away.
Great strong rebound by McKenzie. I knew he had a couple players on him, and he goes up for the shot. And let's see if he can finish it.
He does. A big boom coming from the bench of the Blueboys as McKenzie has given them the lead, 31-30.
And that's what we call a good stop and score.
Vontae McKenzie, the junior out of Chicago, makes it 31-30. Blueboys taking the lead here in the second half. Nakpane, deep three. At the back of the iron, hit the top pole, so out of bounds. Timeout on the floor. 7-0 run for the Blueboys over the last 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Scoring drought for the Pirates. They need to find that water or else they are not going to quench it anytime soon.
And this is the first lead by the Blueboys since the first half. I want to say close to around the 10-minute mark. So let's see if they can extend this lead.
You can see stats even on rebounds, a bit more even on turnovers, low shooting percentages. It's defensive, it's chippy. But right now, the Blueboys are taking advantage of their opportunities much more so than the Pirates. The Pirates they're kind of having the problems the Blueboys were, where not a lot's working right now.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes down to the fundamental of it. Shots are not going in, especially when they're in high percentage areas, and a lot of those need to be going in no matter what. I mean, we look back at, I want to say it was Harris who had gotten a huge rebound. Excuse me, I think it was Javonte McKenzie who had just gotten a huge rebound and scored right off of it. You need stops and scores if you want to win this game. And focusing on every possession, especially on the defensive end, is really crucial for both teams.
Nico Murr into the game for Southwestern, number 1. Southwestern presses on the inbounds. Now going back, Ritzel running it down. Oh man, he can fly, but the ball doesn't go in. Lichtenfeld gets the ball for the board.
And that was one of those high percentage points where you just need to finish it, whether that be a finger roller off the backboard to make sure that it really goes in.
Gutierrez down to Lichtenfeld, over to Anakpane. They work it down the arc, now up it. Lichtenfeld handing it off to Gutierrez. Works against a lot of Blueboys before going out to Anakpane. Top of the key shot. doesn't fall. And taken by Leonard, but nearly ripped away by Lewis. Blue Boys maintain control. Devontae McKenzie got the lead for the Blue Boys. Some nice passing. Leonard's corner three. Too strong. Will stay Blue Boys ball. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Coach Kirkendall wanting an explanation. Now the officials talking amongst each other. They end ball it, they inbound it. Coach Kirkendall talking with Coach Schweer now. Coach Kirkendall saying that the ball hit the rim. But no change in call from the officials. 3 from McKenzie.
That's going to be an over the back on Marcus Coleman.
31-30. Even though perhaps a small thing to have quarrels about in a game this defensive, every point counts, especially every second. Nico Murr going down to Gutierrez. Gio in to Lichtenfeld. Lichtenfeld bumping up against Doss. A lot of contact. They have to force it back out to Anakpane. Lichtenfeld running into McKenzie. Working against Doss again. Just can't finish it off. The defense of Doss, too much for Lichtenfeld.
That's going to be a foul on Anakpane. Anakpane. Excuse me.
We're gonna have a couple of subs in for the Blue Boys and the Pirates. Keshawn Bell, Patrick Hoffman in for the Pirates. Josh Harris in for the Blue Boys along with Nathan Bobikwitz. Leonard back to Ritzel, to Bobikwitz. Ritzel again. They find Harris near the free throw line. It's punched away. Took an interesting bounce.
That was one of those possessions where you just got to shoot it. He was wide open.
We're down to Bell. 1 point game, 31-30 Blue Boys advantage. Murr backing it up before handing it to Hoffman. He's at the top of the key. Gutierrez. Shot. Too strong, but second chance points. Foul drawn by Hoffman.
It was inches away from being an and one.
It seems like the ball has not rolled very well for either side on those kinds of shots.
It's very true. Is this the first time that Southwestern's getting to the line in this half?
It is. Free throw from Hoffman. Sunk. 31-31. We're tied up again. Devontae McKenzie back in for the Blue Boys. 31-31. It'll stay that.
No one's made a perfect free throw, or perfect free throw trip.
And not as of yet, at least. Leonard to Ritzel. Loses the ball. Throwing it up for Gutierrez. He's alone up front. Oh, dodges Ritzel. 2 points for Southwestern. They take the lead.
High IQ play by Gutierrez.
Yeah, because if you just go up, Ritzel is
Yeah.
absolutely denying that one.
And especially in the men's game, I mean, all of them are very athletic and very well capable of slapping that ball on the backboard. So it was really smart to take a really fundamental jump stop, give a little up fake, and then finish it off.
Foul tagged to Lewis. That's the second personal foul. Luke Catcher back on the court for Southwestern alongside Luke Mills. Justin Robinson gets it to Ritzel on the inbounds. Up to Bobikwitz. Bobikwitz down to Ritzel. Thought about the three instead. Driving in a little bit. Tried to find Bobikwitz. Trying to find anybody. Gets it to Robinson. Ball pops out in Doss's hands. Rattles in. We're tied again.
Great shot by Seth Doss, who took advantage of it, realized no one was really in front of him to contest, gave a little floater.
33-33. Every point matters tenfold in a defensive game like this. Mills trying to corral the ball, but ends up in the hands of Doss. He goes over to McKenzie. Man, that would have been quite the reverse layup, but nothing happening. Now the Pirates have maybe a bit of a numbers advantage, trying to go over the top. Nothing happening, but Hoffman still has it. The Pirates can't get anything out of it, but whistles blown. It'll keep it Pirate possession. Crowd was going crazy for a moment.
I think that was one of the Pirate parents, maybe wanting to foul.
That was an absolute mad scramble. 20 seconds on the shot clock for the Pirates. Hatcher takes the inbounds pass back out to Bell near the logo. Far corner, now inside to Hoffman in the paint, trying to work up against Robinson, and he does. Splash in the paint from Hoffman. 35-33, Pirate lead again.
Good footwork by Hoffman. Gave a little fake to the left, came back for the right, and then once again finished over his left shoulder.
Pirates maintaining pressure. That high post area, Doss working up against Hoffman, trying to take it himself. It's up and in. Perfect play from Seth Doss. We're going back and forth here in the second half now. Gutierrez, oh my goodness, almost read like a book from Robinson.
That's going to be a foul on Ritzel.
35-35. That is Ritzel's
third
personal foul. Still not as many as in that game against the Tigers. While the timeout on the floor, 35-35. Really way more back and forth here in the second half than it was in the first, where Southwestern kind of had the lead for most of it and the Blueboys were playing catch up, but now.
Yeah, they're going tit for tat now. Every possession is really, especially that last one, we had Hoffman going up on that right side block. And then we had Seth Doss, who really took his time and finished off of that right block as well on the other end.
Yeah, and right now having Ritzel at 3 personal fouls, want him to maybe be a bit more careful. Him getting sent off would be a bit disastrous for the Blueboys.
I mean, he's a smart senior, has experience. I'm sure he'll know when to exert a lot of defensive energy that may garner him a foul.
No player on either side has 10-digit point or double-digit points.
Not with this game. It's 35-35. It's pretty low scoring.
Yeah. It's very evenly spread.
Yeah.
Amongst a lot of players too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, Tiger women had a low-scoring game, but Kylie Minter had 27 of those points.
That's Kylie Minter. You can't even say that. That's a magician. She is an exception to the rule. Kylie Minter is an absolutely great player, and she plays with so much finesse, so much confidence. She's just so much fun to watch, but you cannot compare the two.
Got comparisons between both sides, their play style, very defensive. But one thing that Coach Kirkendall and Coach Schweer have in common, favorite Christmas movie, Elf for the household.
I guess all 3 of us have something in common. I love Elf. Such a good film, and Will Ferrell is just one of my all-time favorite humans.
Hatcher trying to work in the paint. Can't splash it enough. It's put back up and in. I'm not sure if Hoffman put that in or
I think it was Hoffman. He tipped it up out of the air and got a really nice friendly bounce.
So that contested shot going Southwestern's way, 37-35. McKenzie trying to get it to Swinney, loses the ball, intercepted by the Pirates.
Good read by the Pirates. I know that the Blueboys saw somebody flashing, or slicing, excuse me, and just read it like a book.
Down to Mills. Bell working his way to his right, finds Hoffman near the elbow, keeps the ball, 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Bell finds it in his hands at the top of the key. Gutierrez has to take a contested 3, much too errant. Good defensive stand by the Blueboys. Working quick, Swinney.
They're going to call the block. He was definitely within the charge circle, and he was moving. How many people are complaining about that one?
Easy call for the officials. It'll be the Fontbonne transfer to shoot these free throws.
for 2 is Jaden Swinney.
35-37. Swinney with the opportunity to tie things up. But it's at best going to be a 1-point deficit now. Substitutions for both sides as Josh Harris and Matt Thompson back on the court for Illinois College. Shobi Anakpane, Brock Lichtefeld, and Jared Robbins back on the court for Southwestern. And it is a 1-point deficit. 37-36. Mills to inbound it to Bell. Kashawn, Bell, and the Pirates. 37-36, 1-point lead. Can they extend it? Matt Thompson in the face of Bell. Go up to Anakpane, then to Robbins. Nice dish in to Mills. Oh, he got it to Lichtefeld. Contested shot, Lichtefeld muscles through.
Lichtefeld has been really good about using the rim to protect him, especially because he knows so many Blue Boys are just coming right behind him to come and try and block it.
Coleman got it into Doss. He's in the paint. Tried a nice pass to Bobikwitz. The Pirate ball as it goes out of bounds. The Pirates.
Matt Thompson was actually quite open in the corner. I think he was telling Seth Doss to skip it.
The Pirates is some torrential waves that they're wading through right now, but they find themselves in the lead. Good swing pass to Lichtefeld. Back out to Bell, the three. Not going in, but offensive board by Robbins. The freshman finishes it. 41-36. The Pirates now make it a 2-possession game.
I mean, absolutely no one boxed out Robbins, and he just swept in there and finished it with ease.
Marcus Coleman, oh, we found Doss again. Doss has been getting a lot of action in there. Finishes it high off the glass.
Good inside hand finish by Doss.
Once again, the Pirates having that kind of trouble of the high post being a bit too open for Doss.
Yeah, he has so much time to just make a decision whether or not he's going to pass it, skip it out to the corner, or even take it for himself, especially if it's one-on-one, and Lichtefeld was that person.
Jump ball. Blue Boys will get possession. As Lichtefeld and Robbins chatting with each other. Bobikwitz and Doss will head back to the bench. Robinson and Ritzel with the ball. Again, Southwestern keeping that pressure, not making it easy for the Blue Boys, but Javante McKenzie getting it back out to Thompson at the elbow. Coleman doesn't take the three. McKenzie shot from within the free throw line is good. 41-40. Pirates racing. It'll be Blue Boys ball. Coach Kirkendall wanting to talk things over with the squad as the timeout hits the floor. 41-40.
That's one of those possessions where you just got to take care of the ball. You just came off of losing one of your possessions defensively, and you want to make sure that this next possession that you have, as Luke Hatcher kind of just dribbled it out of bounds. You know, it's got to be a good possession. You want to do a score, and you want to get a stop right after that.
I think both sides, they really want to get a lead that the other won't be able to catch up from, but neither side keen. When one side goes cold, the other side gets hot.
Yeah.
And then vice versa.
Yeah.
It is close. It's been close pretty much the entire game.
Yeah. It really hasn't felt like a game of ebbs and flows. They've pretty been, I mean, it's pretty much been tit for tat the entire game.
You can see on your screen Coach Kirkendall talking with his Pirate starters. An opportunity to get their first win of the season in a big way. Beating Illinois College would be quite the upset if you are looking at the metrics.
And they're very capable of it right now. I mean, there's almost 8 minutes left in this game. You have a lot to adjust to, but making sure that you're doing the intangible things and taking care of every possession is imperative for them.
Pirates back on the court. Blueboys breaking their huddle. We'll have Marcus Coleman to inbound it for the Blueboys. Finds Javante McKenzie. Coleman to Ritzel. Near the 3-meter line for volleyball. Back to Coleman. And to Ritzel. Ritzel to Coleman again. Oh, they found McKenzie. The short shot. Nothing but net for Javante McKenzie.
And that's his his second shot in a row from the midpoint range, and he just pulled up with ease.
42-41. Blueboys lead. Pirates need to do something here. Robbins to Anakpane. Bell at the top of the arc. Good addition to Hatcher. Muscling through Bobikwitz. Contact drawn.
Hatcher's going to the line. See if he'll be the first one to make it a perfect trip. I know that they keep looking at Lichtenfeld off of that left block, but you can kind of see Nathan Bobowitz just kind of creeping in as secondary defense for help, and they're really not looking for him after that.
Well, at best for the Pirates, it can only be a tie, and it will be 42-42 as still nobody has had a perfect trip to the charity stripe. It's been anything but charitable this time. Ritzel to Coleman. Coleman working against Bell, goes up to Ritzel again. He defers down to McKenzie, who goes back to Ritzel. Nice addition to Robinson. Out to Ritzel again. Ritzel's three. Sunk! Oh, man.
That was beautiful and a little off balance.
Yeah, Buzz Ritzel thought he was going to go in for a moment and try to pierce one of the lanes, but instead shot the three.
This will probably be the largest lead that they've had since the first half.
45-42.
30 seconds charge. It will be a
Illinois College 5 for their last 5 from the floor. Southwestern, no shots going in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah. Well, it's one thing that you can turn around with in each possession. So you just have to make, because they've made 5 in a row, your next defensive possession has to be getting them the worst shot possible if no shot, and then making sure to secure that rebound. Because you have Seth Doss, who just has a knack for getting the ball, and you have a super athletic Javante McKenzie, who's made his last 2 mid-range jumpers, and they're really looking for him at that high post. I know he's kind of hanging around, but those are the people that you're looking for. And then, of course, you cannot forget about Buzz Ritzel, who does Buzz Ritzel things.
Buzz Ritzel and Javante McKenzie, double-digit points for the both of them. McKenzie with 12, Ritzel with 10. They are starting to light things up a bit more. Still low-scoring affair, 45-42. I'd be surprised if, at this point, either team hit above 60 at this point with how low-scoring.
I was about to put a
it's
wager
been.
on that as well. To anybody hearing, we did not put a wager on this.
Pirates head back out to the court along with the Blueboys. Southwestern desperately needs to score something here. Otherwise, they risk being left behind.
And this has to be a huge stop for the Blueboys.
Robbins with the ball. The freshman works his way down the arc to Anakpane. Anakpane to Bell. Trying to find Lichtenfeld instead. Throwing it up for Lichtenfeld. A lot of pressure by the Blueboys. They surrounded Lichtenfeld and broke up his shot. It's going to be Blueboys possession still. McKenzie lost the ball, but it went off a Pirate.
I felt like that was an attempt for him to pass it to that left corner, but it, of course, got deflected.
Coleman finds Bobikwitz. Quick three. Bobikwitz again.
That's 6 for 6.
Bobikwitz. Unbelievable moment here in this tournament. First game of the season for him last night. Went 3 for 4 from beyond the arc, and once again lighting up the stat sheet. 42-48. Emergency mode for the Pirates. Robbins. He draws contact, but free throw line has not been friendly for Southwestern or Illinois College.
No, it has not. But Robbins maintained great footwork, had a good little step through, gave a shot fake. So we'll see how he does here.
Robbins frustrated.
I think everybody in the gym was frustrated.
Went off the front, off the back, off the front again, out. 42-48. Again, 0 for 2.
And that's another defensive stop for the Blueboys.
Coleman to Ritzel. Ritzel trying to find McKenzie. He's able to find McKenzie. Oh, nice pass to Robinson. 50-42.
And that looked a little bit like Lichtenfeld, who in this past couple possessions before this has been doing reverse layups as a way to protect himself from the other defenders.
Luke Hatcher hands it off to Lichtenfeld. Back to Hatcher. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Hatcher tries it himself. Another Pirate will go to the line. Right now, it's not been very helpful for the Pirates.
And they're now in bonus.
Pirates, just when they thought they had a nice lead, a rogue wave of points from the Blueboys. They have been hitting shot after shot. They're 7 for their last 7 now.
And Hatcher misses the first one.
A 14-1 run over the past 3 minutes, 30 seconds.
These are one of those moments where free throws mean a lot. If they would have made at least half of the ones that they've shot within these last maybe 10 minutes, this game would be, if not 5 points less.
Coleman almost had the ball taken away by Anak Panay. McKenzie going to Ritzel. Ritzel back down to Javante McKenzie. Oh, Bobakwitz open in the corner. Off the back iron. Oh, second chance. Robinson hyped up. Gets to go to the line.
It was a strong rebound by Robinson. He boxed out, had good position, and knew that if he got this ball, he was going to go up.
I think Illinois College, probably one of the most defensively sound teams I've seen in CalGuard. Free throw in.
I think he yelled, "Get in!"
Feels like one of those days from the free throw line.
Well, this will be their 8th possession where they've gone down the floor and made a basket. And he makes it as the first person to go down to the line and make it a perfect trip.
Give a congratulations to Robinson.
15 minutes of this game, and we didn't, in this half, and we didn't get one of those.
Oh, and Akpane has to scramble back for the ball. What will the Pirates do? They're down by 9. Ball lost. Bobakwitz hands it off to Javante McKenzie. Nice dish pass to Coleman. And it's nothing but hype for the Blueboys. Coach Kirkendall not happy with the officials.
I think he wanted a foul to be called when Anakpane got the ball taken out of his hands.
Definitely not happy. Now his Pirates are down by 11.
That would be 9 straight possessions where the Blueboys have scored.
It's been a crazy hot streak for Illinois College.
And a lot of these stats have pretty much evened out. Turnovers are getting pretty close to the same. And the one thing that has changed, though, is the Pirates are leading right now in rebounds, where the Blueboys have led all game. And then it's no surprise, obviously, that the 3-point percentage and free throw percentage are up right now, considering that every time that the Pirates have gone to the line, they've either been 0-2 or 1-2.
The points off of turnover stat has become a lot more even. 18 for the Pirates, 14 for the Blueboys. At some point, that was like all the Pirates' points were points off of turnovers. As the Pirates have gotten the ball taken away from them more and more, Blueboys have really used that to their advantage to launch themselves into the lead. Bobakwitz with 10 points. 3 for 6 from beyond the arc. Got to be a classic to remember for him.
Yeah, he's been that X factor coming in, especially yesterday, you know, off the bench. And then for him to come in earlier in the first half and just knock down 2 threes was huge for them.
I'm sure that he'll be much more of a presence in this rotation for the Blue Boys coming out of this tournament. First appearance of the season yesterday. He lit it up, lining it up again today in some very clutch spots, might I add. Here we go. Lichtenfeld back up to Lewis, who ball lost by Hatcher. Hatcher looked like he hit his head a little.
That foul's definitely going to be on Javonte McKenzie. And they're headed to the line again.
Yeah, back up to his feet. I'm not sure just going to the line a ton of times is really what the Pirates even want to do at this point. Free throw made by Hatcher.
And he made it when they needed it. It's 1-1.
Can Hatcher match Robinson? No, he cannot. Robinson will maintain his title as the only player to have a perfect trip at the charity stripe in this game. Marcus Coleman trying to get somebody open. McKenzie with some motion. They get the ball to him. Shot is too weak. Lichtenfeld with the board.
Yeah, some arms are tangled a little bit there with Austin Robinson and Lichtenfeld.
Gutierrez. Oh, tied up ball. They don't call it a jump. And a big collision by the end line. Blue Boys got to work a bit fast. Get it across the timeline, and they do. Monte McKenzie, Illinois College, wanting to kill as much time as possible now. By McKenzie near the elbow, he backs out. Back to Coleman. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Robinson out to Bobikwitz. Contested 3. Doesn't go, but it hit off the rim. So another possession for the Blue Boys. They're taking it a bit quick. Robinson gets fouled.
That one's going to be on, I think it was Luke Hatcher. Yeah.
Huddle for the Pirates, trying to discuss how to get back into this one. Jared Robbins coming back in for Southwestern. Buzz Ritzel waiting to come in for the Blue Boys. Swish from Robbins for the first free throw. Luke Mills also back in the game for Southwestern. (55-44) becomes 56-44 as the only man maintaining his composure at the line seems to be Robinson right now.
I feel like he's kind of been the silent killer of this game. He's had great rebounds. He's been a great defender, especially on Lichtenfeld. And of course, he just made his free throws down the stretch.
Shobi Anakpane running it in. Near side lane. Foul drawn.
They may call that one on Harris. Oh, I am mistaken. That one's going to be called on Nathan Bobowitz.
Shobi Anakpane at the free throw line. Now Bobikwitz with 4 personal fouls. Ritzel with 4 personal fouls. McKenzie with 3. Gotta be maybe a little careful. There's still enough time for a comeback for Southwestern if they play it right.
And Anakpane goes 1 for 2 at that line.
That's certainly not going to help them. Buzz Ritzel past the timeline. Spinning around to McKenzie. Back to Ritzel. Go back and forth. Now Coleman gets the ball. Thrown up for McKenzie. Nice pass. Bobikwitz in the corner. Doesn't fall. Rattles in and out. Bell finds Anakpane. Quick score for the Pirates. It's definitely what they needed to do.
Good no-look pass in transition. He saw Anakpane just cutting right away.
Single-digit lead now for the Blue Boys. Robinson finds himself fouled by Mills. bonus for Illinois College. So
And I don't know if
free
that's the
throws.
person we want to foul right now. He's just gone 4 for 4 from the line.
Foul number 8, 21, Austin Roberts.
Luke Hatcher back in the game for Southwestern. Southwestern in the toughest of positions. They just need Robinson to miss this free throw, and he does. Pirates need to pull out the Clipper ships, move fast. Down to Anakpane Bell, trying to get it to Lichtenfeld. They work too fast for their own feet. Turnover.
And that was really garnered by Robinson, who three-quartered him very well and then got the ball tipped and into the hands of Coleman.
Minute 30 and counting. Not left in this game. Illinois College holding, and Southwestern not fouling. Ritzel up to Bobakowitz, back down to Ritzel. Deep three. Buzz Ritzel, offensive board. Bobakowitz, fouled.
By Jared Robbins. That took a lot longer than I expected.
This game isn't already iced away. Bobakowitz has a chance to just cement the Blue Boys' victory here. That one doesn't go. It's a bit of a cold streak for the Blue Boys at the line now. Bell thought about taking an immediate three, couldn't. Hatcher out to Robbins, the three's up and in. Illinois College maybe trying to avoid some flashbacks to yesterday.
And Coach Kirkendall calls a timeout as soon as Robbins makes that three.
They get 56-50. They are a bit delayed to update the scoreboard for some reason. It is 56-50 though. That three did count.
I wonder if their strategy is going to be to foul as soon as you can, or, well, obviously the Blue Boys are going to want to hold it as long as possible, so I'm assuming that they're going to want to foul as soon as possible, but the people you're probably going to want to foul, it could be anyone at this point. I feel like, besides Robinson, who has gone 4 for 5 for the past trips to the line, but I feel like anybody you could foul.
Try to go with the Trinity strategy. Press everybody, try to get the turnover. Right now, you're guaranteed one more possession in theory if you can get the board.
Yeah.
Because Illinois College can't hold it and end the game right now. They have a shot clock.
But they do have the opportunity to put a shot up and get that rebound, which they just did with that past possession.
With 6-point deficit, Southwestern could do it. Illinois College, how defensively sound they've been, it's going to be a mighty tough task. Coach Kirkendall, we'll see what he's drawn up. It's going to have to be something miraculous. Southwestern 3 for their last 3. Illinois College 0 for their last 4 now, as we have traded who's hot once again. 6-0 run for the Pirates over the past 2 minutes. 2-minute scoring drought in turn from the Blue Boys. Ball nearly lost. They're having difficulties getting it over the timeline. They finally do. McKenzie harassed by Gutierrez. Now up to Ritzel, who is by his lonesome. Back down to Harris. To Ritzel. Back to Harris. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Ritzel with the ball. Trying to find someone on the inside. 5 seconds. McKenzie. It's going to be a contested shot, but a charge called.
And Coach Kirkendall, you can kind of see him navigating traffic as he was telling his players to spread out who he wanted them to foul and when he wanted them to foul them. So they have a guaranteed possession right here. They're letting the ball roll. We'll see if they can make a three and then make a haste decision.
3 up, 2 short. Robbins, short shot, doesn't go, gets fouled. Acting quick was Robbins, deciding to shoot it from within the arc instead of looking to see if he had an option outside. Now you really got to make these free throws. Coach Kirkendall calling in his team.
I'm assuming he's going to tell them to foul pretty quickly. 16 seconds is not a lot of time.
Only player who does not have a foul to give is Robbins. Everyone else is pretty clean on the court right now.
And Inakbane is going to sub in.
They've sent Lichtenfeld back to the bench for Southwestern. And Coach Schweer telling the officials, let's go. Act a little quicker.
And Inakbane subs in for Robbins, who's a very fast defender.
56-52. Perfect trip at the charity stripe when they really needed it. Foul immediately.
That foul's going to be on Kashawn Bell.
Now back. Both teams in the double bonus now. 16 seconds. Buzz Ritzel, the leader of this team. Opportunity to ice the game away. He makes the first shot. It's still a two-possession game. But it's gotten a whole lot harder for Southwestern now. Ritzel, ice in his veins. Kenzie pressuring Gutierrez. They got to do something quick. He just pierces the lane. Trying for the two. Southwestern, they'll throw up the white flag. That's it. Illinois College will come away as the winner in Game 3 of the Leslie Robinson Holiday Classic. They take down the Southwestern Pirates 58-52 in a defensive, chippy affair. That was an exciting game, especially near the end there.
I mean, we just got high scoring, so, I mean, it's what we wanted. And defensive intensity was the same on both ends. We knew this was going to be a defensive-driven game. But when you have somebody who goes 9 for 9 on their possessions and stops their opponents from scoring for those 9 possessions, obviously you're going to see that deficit occur.
Good job by the Blue Boys. Leading in points for them was Javante McKenzie and Buzz Ritzel, both with 12 points. Austin Robinson had 11 for himself. Meanwhile, on the rebounding front, Buzz Ritzel, 6 rebounds. Austin Robinson also 6 rebounds. Marcus Coleman with 4 assists for the Blue Boys. For Southwestern, it was Jared Robbins with 14 points. He led the team in that category. Brock Lichtenfeld with 11 rebounds. And Kashawn Bell with 2 assists. I think the players that we expected mostly. Looking forward on the schedule for the Blue Boys, they will be going back to Illinois. They'll be at Benedictine on December 30th. So Blue Boys fans, be sure to tune in for that one. Great team that they have. I think certainly the favorites to win the Midwest Conference still. Meanwhile, for Southwestern, their next game coming up for the men's basketball team, they'll be going to Seguin to take on TLU in their conference opener. January 2nd, so in the new year. They'll be off until 2025. Not too far from Georgetown, so Southwestern fans, go support the Pirates in Seguin. Be an exciting matchup. But our Leslie Robinson Classic Championship is coming up here on the Tiger Network as Wisconsin Lutheran will take on Trinity University. Stay tuned on the Tiger Network. For everyone in the control room, Annika Signs, I have been Reed Rosales. We'll be back in about 23 minutes for the start of the championship game.